Hello and welcome to another Atlassian monthly update. This one is for August 2015. Matthew Coughlin here, Expert Manager for UK, Ireland and South Africa. So in this month's update we are going to be speaking about the Experts Programme, some changes that have been made to that, some highlights about MDF, coming to the end of the year for FY16 MDF expenditure, so some points to make around that. More updates from the enablement team and some information on the campaign. So going straight on to the expert program. Currently, experts are prohibited from selling through two-tier distribution by their experts agreement without prior consent from Atlassian. Although this is an explicit agreement, we have been turning a blind eye to the practice, as I'm sure you are aware that there are situations which make a two-tier distribution a preferred option for the customer, and believe it or not, resellers are adding some value in quite a few sales cycles. I can see this coming through many of the enterprise customers who have got existing relationships with resellers, and admittedly we're not really going to go around that, and they can speed up the time it takes to close some of these deals. Anyway, it hasn't been a great business model for us, not really knowing what's going on there, and not really wishing to create a complete reseller program. Not our objective. We have put a form out there to request approval for deals through resellers. I've put the link here, which will take you to that area on Charlie, and for deals where you will be going through a reseller, we request that you put the information here on this form, which will then be approved, so we can actually trace this for ongoing customer support. Before, experts could only ask for free licenses when they reached tier 2. Now we're keen to give this away with tier 1 when you finished your onboarding. So free licenses are a big incentive for getting through the onboarding process. Also, we have a way to upgrade free licenses to higher tiers, and also to renew those upgraded licenses. So again, check out the link here to find information about these free licenses that we are now able to share with you. Providing feedback on Charlie. We now have some surveys for each Charlie ticket that we close for experts. Recognizing that we have 3 people full-time around the globe servicing Charlie, we would like to hear back from you to improve our feedback. There is another link here which I can send through to you about where we can collect these statistics. Just going on from the last point with regard to the reseller notification, little changes like this, I do recognise that they will have a material knock-on effect to the workflow that you will do internally. So it's good that that we do receive feedback from this, because then we can change and adjust the way that these things are presented. That's really the way that Atlassian works. We are a company that shares a lot of our own working practices with you as experts, so it's really good if we could actually get some feedback from that, which will help us change and hopefully make the system and the workflow cleaner and more efficient for both of us. Okay, now this slide is really talking about renewing or upgrading marketplace add-ons. So previously, experts could only do this if you bought the SEN, the service to entitlement, together. So you had to come through Charlie Sales Support if the add-on was bought directly by the customer or another expert. This has now been fixed. Look here at the link, which is taking you to the Jira version that we share with you, external Jira version, and the linked purchasing ticket can be put together there. So just follow that link to actually renew or upgrade the add-ons that you've got for your customers there. Talking about rewarding experts to submit customer stories. We are always interested in customer deployments, stories about how customers are using Atlassian products in different and interesting ways. how they're changing the way that teams work and how individuals are being promoted and changed by being Atlassian champions. We're all very keen to keep up with the latest real-life customer stories. There are some benefits for you. So experts who submit the best stories will be featured on the experts page on Atlassian.com, which we are looking to refresh some of the content there. Every customer story submitted will be highlighted internally in weekly updates to employees. It's always good for people working for Atlassian to understand really what's going out there in the field. And for customer stories that get turned into case studies, you'll be co-branded on the website and in marketing campaigns that feature the customer story. You'll have case studies that highlight your role in the customer successes to repurpose in your own channels. So what to do? You can submit the customer story via the Charlie service desk requests. There is something specifically under submit customer story queue there. Just remember that no customer reference agreement needs to be signed. If the customer story is one that Atlassian is interested in pursuing further, we'll reach out to you first to see if we can interview the customer to learn about their deployment. So yeah, there's a number of steps that we realize from the legal perspective that we do need to take. Just coming up with Summit in mind, I'm aware that the team out there are reaching out and trying to look for some good stories, or let's put it, the best and most interesting stories that will be up there at the Atlassian Summit in San Francisco. So yeah, any entries you think for that would be really useful. I also know that from the PR perspective, we are interested to find out some interesting case studies from far-flung remote parts of the globe. Africa does spring to mind. So if anybody does know about some interesting uses, cases out in some of these far-flung regions that you know about, then do please get in touch with me, and I'll put you in touch with the PR guys down in San Francisco. So moving on to MDF. The last day to submit FY15 MDF requests is the 31st of August. Plenty of warning about this has been repeatedly made. So if you do have FY15 MDF available and you have not yet made a request for collateral or event chip, then we require your bank details by the end of August, otherwise your request may not be processed. So the last day to submit the MDF invoices themselves is the 30th of September. So the FY15 expiry event is the 30th of September when the actual balance expires, and I really don't see how there can be any any exceptions made to that. It purely is it's an accounting function, the limitations of which are forced upon us roughly because of the Sarbanes-Oxley compliance issues. Your FY16 MDF budget will have been shared with you by myself. If you missed out or you want some to recap on what that is, then do get back in touch with me offline, and I can share what the budget is, along with a refresh of the new terms for FY16 in terms of the tiers that we put forward. So we have been mentioning in the past couple of months Elastic Grid, which is the company that we have enlisted the support of to help run MDF campaigns for experts. We do have, well, we're getting to the stage now where we will be rolling out some of these ready to go. So there's a fantastic Jira Service Desk campaign ready on Elastic Grid coming up in September. So here with Elastic Grid, you can spin up a ready-to-go 8-week digital marketing campaign in about 30 minutes. The campaign will feature 3 main points: funnel optimized campaign ready to use, leveraging a message that customers will connect with, and providing all the resources needed to gain customer interest to attend a webinar on demand or something like that. So there is some follow-up that you can reach out to them with. Enablement. So the enablement team knows that you're hungry for more content, more collateral. So I'm just sharing some of the latest things that they've been coming up with. I have to admit that I have been impressed by the work that Darryl and his team, who've got a new guy on board now, Victor, and they really are kind of getting the best value out of our product marketing and technical teams to share with you. So we're getting better competitive intelligence, clear product value statements, use cases, and objection handling. So I'm just going to go through a whole list of updates around this. So we're getting better at doing some business positioning decks. These decks bring through sales insight and use cases the ability to articulate Atlassian as a solution. They clearly articulate the value proposition, the target market attack points, in-depth objection handling, and information on how to slay our competitors. So these business positioning kits are now completed for Confluence, HipChat Server, Bamboo, Jira Portfolio, and Jira Service Desk. There we go. So I've just completed the build there on the slides. Interesting stuff there. So number point 2, battle cards. So these battle cards, I think we've got some good feedback from you. They are really good for sales situations. Perfect if you're seeking a product refresher or need a killer point in the midst of a sales call. So the battle cards really boil down Atlassian into smooth sound bites. So we've really got that elevator pitch, how companies use the Atlassian products to solve problems, the feature highlights, the advantages over primary competitors, and a go-to success story. So you've got everything there that you need for this engagement. Really good training materials if you are having new people come on board in a sales team or something like that. Compared to what we had or what we didn't have last year, this area of enablement is going very well. Onto our campaign. The campaign that we're talking about at the moment is the Jira Portfolio Wimbledon. So this really is focusing on Jira Portfolio, and we're trying to get you to share your customers' passion about using Jira Portfolio. If you can get references, a public use case that we're looking for, then do put it our way. There's a submission form on the Charlie service desk, and here we go. We're really keen to kind of get you to submit your entries. There are some very good prizes, of course. There always are, and it'd be good to pull that out. I think that the recent upgrading of Jira Portfolio to support data center and looking at the statistics of our extranet that we share with you, it seems that Jira Portfolio is the thing that is most searched and researched by experts. So I'm keen to kind of find out really what is going out there with customers and submit that. On to a few product updates. So here just updating on Jira Service Desk, Bitbucket, and Bamboo. So on to our good friend Jira. So Jira 7 is much talked about. So we're all getting fairly excited about the launch of that. And as our promise to you is that we are trying to enable you, the experts, before we go public with this. So there's an enablement campaign getting you ready with 7 webinars. Yep, that is quite a lot of webinars. Each webinar will run 3 times, so at least one should be convenient in our time zone. We pretty much stuck in the EMEA time zone, so there's no issues there. Registration will be on Charlie soon, and these are the webinars, so if you can just bear with me whilst we just run through these. So the first one coming up fairly soon on Thursday, August the 27th, selling Jira software. Then we're moving into selling Jira Core, and then selling Jira Service Desk on September the 3rd. And then there's more around the kind of consulting offers, so Migration Hub pricing, licensing. Then we have a webinar on Jira Software for Technical, and Jira Core Technical, and Jira Service Desk Technical. So dealing with the kind of the go-to-market strategy first, and then going slightly deeper into the technical aspects of those 3 platforms that now will make up Jira 7. So Jira Service Desk, highlighting this one out because if you look at the enablement area on Charlie, there's some really good slide decks there. The one that really brought it home to me is the fact that we now have 3,000 Jira Service Desks in place, and if you just look at the iconic companies there that are using it, it's a very confidence building slide indeed. So we have been testing a few definitions, different definitions of Jira Service Desk, and I think this one boils down to Jira Service Desk is the most collaborative service desk product on the market, featuring intuitive customer portals, powerful SLAs, and real-time reporting. And another tagline is that Jira Service Desk is new service management software that IT and business teams actually like to use. Jira Service Desk allows customers to serve and support people you work with so much easier, and is available behind the firewall and on demand. I think the opportunity now is really to break away from our existing base of Jira and Atlassian users and tackle more of the rest of the service desk market out there. There's a lot of value in that marketplace, and if I go on to the next slide, we're getting more and more customer successes there. So here's one with Skyscanner. So and this has been made into a video story, so you can check out this, and it's available for you to reference with your other potential customers on the Atlassian YouTube channel, which there's quite a lot of useful case studies there. It's a really good first go-to place to find these kinds of sales helps. Note, Jira Service Desk added a new to existing tour to the on the actual Atlassian website. So there's this now new tour and collateral on Atlassian.com. So this has been a good little refresh there that we've got on our main website. So before we move on to Bitbucket updates, just want to remind everyone that this news is still private, so please do not share anything you see next with your customers until launch in late September. We are going for a Bitbucket rebrand. There has been a blog on Charlie, and we are moving from having Stash and Bitbucket to just having Bitbucket server and Bitbucket on the cloud, so just general Bitbucket. We're doing this to reduce confusion and enable us to come to market with a single Git message across the tool sets. Rebranding will happen in late September, early October timeframe, and this will coincide with our Bitbucket server, i.e. Stash 4.0 release, and you can get the early access now via the Charlie News and to update your add-ons. If anyone asks, SourceTree will remain as SourceTree and will not have any brand changes around that, so we're going to keep that similar. More details can be found in the Charlie blog, big news for Atlassian Stash, and we will be rolling out updates to the Bitbucket enablement kit mid-September. There's a webinar planned for September the 23rd. Bitbucket is the new Stash, that's the title, by Amber Fraunholtz, the DevTools channel PMM, and this will discuss why we made the decision to rebrand, teach the new Bitbucket messaging and pitch deck, review the new Bitbucket enablement kit on Charlie, and unveil a campaign that may land you some hot new Bitbucket swag. So just to refresh, that's on the 23rd of September. So moving on to Bamboo and continuous integration. So we're hosting a customer-facing webinar with Amazon about AWS and Bamboo. Registration is posted on Charlie News. And again, this is on Thursday, August the 27th. So it's going to be a busy day coming up. Looking for some new Bamboo blogs or self-educate to send your customers? We have several new ones available now on the Charlie Enablement Kit, so please go check them out and do share them. So I do receive a lot of feedback that continuous integration is an area that is developing quite comprehensively at the moment, and we're in a very good position actually with Bamboo to take a bigger share of that. So here's a bit of an events update. The Atlassian Summit 2015 coming soon. Of course, you already know that. Monday, November the 2nd is expected to be, it's dedicated to experts all day and all night with the Expert Awards Party. Ecosystem Day is free for experts. Registration is coming soon, but remember you must register for Ecosystem Day as well as Summit, so you've got to make sure that you do register for both of those. Okay, and that is on the 3rd, 4th and 5th of November. Remember that Atlassian Training Day is on November the 3rd. There's usually a huge amount of training that goes on in parallel then, and the program for that will be coming out fairly soon. We are back in San Francisco at the Marriott Marquis, which is on 780 Mission Street in downtown San Francisco. Discounted room blocks are available for Summit attendees, and you need to book by Friday, October the 9th in order to secure your room under the discounted rate. And this rate is available on a first come, first served basis. So if you book your room early, it would be a good thing to do as we anticipate our blocks selling out. Just as a recap, I was asked the other day in terms of using MDF for Summit tickets, and I am reminded that you can use MDF for two ticket entries to Summit, not for the travel, but just to actually use them on the Summit ticket price. So very excited to host you back in San Francisco for our Summit this year. And thank you, that's taken me to the end of my presentation for this month. Any questions, do get back in touch with me. I will start sharing this and my monthly updates on the page that I will be putting together on the Charlie conference instance that I share with everybody there. Thanks so much, have a good week.